everyone, this is Karen.
Welcome back, everybody. I am Shane.
Today we're looking at day 2 of Know Your Copyrights. And the vocabulary words are photograph.
Photograph.
Adrian photographed a couple of old men who were playing chess in the park.
Personal.
Personal.
Monique wrote an essay on her personal experience as a teenager in the 80s.
File.
File.
I forgot to save the file and lost hours of work.
Ooh. Clip.
Clip.
The TV news showed a short clip of the activity.
Phrase.
Phrase.
Michael circled all of the key phrases in the article.
Doubt.
Doubt.
The result of this experiment is still in doubt.
So we're still talking about copyrights, right?
Yes. I think probably the biggest copyright infringement that is important these days is either music
Yes.
or videos like movies and TV shows.
How about pictures? Photos?
Yeah, but not as much. I think that like the music industry really cares if people are just downloading music
For free because, yeah, that's
and the
right.
movie industry and television industry, because they put a lot of money into producing that content.
You're right.
And then people illegally download it and they just don't pay money.
And that is just not right, right? They deserve, you know, for all their hard work, right? They deserve their reward.
Exactly. So I think it's important these days, more and more people, because it's more convenient now, to subscribe to something like Netflix.
You're right.
Or Spotify.
For music.
Right, or something like that. So you can subscribe to those services. It will still be very convenient, and you can support the artist.
And it doesn't really cost you that much. Right?
Yeah, it's reasonable. Okay, everybody, make sure you learn about copyright.
All right. Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Know your copyrights.
Here's an example. Let's say I photograph a nice view. I put the image up on my personal website. You see it, like it, copy it, and use it on your own website without asking my permission. You are breaking copyright law. This is also the case if you download music or video files from the internet without paying for their use, or if you create a video using unlicensed music clips.
Today's lesson is called Know Your Copyrights, Part 2. Hi everyone, my name is Jeff.
And I'm Mike. And yes, we're talking about copyright law, copyright infringement, taking things you find on the internet that you think are really cool and awesome and want to use in your own way, but you didn't create those things. You didn't take that picture, write that story, compose that song, and you just borrow it. You might even think, hey, I'm helping out. This is some unknown artist and I'm going to use their painting on my Instagram and make them famous. But you don't give them money, you don't give them permission, you're breaking the law and you could end up in real trouble. If you didn't create it, you gotta ask and probably pay to use it, even on the internet, even if you're just a random normal person and not a big company.
There you go. Here's an example.
Okay.
Let's say I photograph a nice view. By the way, you can take a photograph. If you do so, you are photographing that nice view, let's say. So sure, if you use a camera to take a picture, you are photographing that thing. What comes out on the other side, that image that you actually create, that's called a photograph as well. But yes, to photograph something, that's to take a picture of that thing, usually with a camera of some sort. For example, Adrian photographed a couple of old men who were playing chess in the park. Adrian owns that photo and thus the copyright to that photo, as long as the two men in the photo give him a release.
Oh, well, that's
the
true.
law, it can get very, very complicated.
That's a very good point. But let's say there's no people, it's just a beautiful view. Maybe you went up to a mountain and got a great view of Taipei City below you or something like that, and it's your picture. You did it just for yourself. And then it says, I put the image up on my personal website. So you put it on your Facebook, maybe you have one of those websites on a photographer website where you kind of, show people your paintings or your photographs, I should say. But it's your personal website. You're not doing it as a business. You haven't sold it to anyone. It's for you, by you, because it's personal, and that's what the adjective personal means. Of you. Your personal information is your birth date and your ID number. Your personal belongings are your things, okay? Not maybe the things you share with your family or your brothers and sisters, but the things in your bedroom, the things you carry around in your bag with you all day. Those are your personal belongings or personal possessions. They're of you and no one else. For example, Monique wrote an essay on her personal experience as a teenager in the 80s. She wasn't writing about all teenagers in the 80s, just her.
Was it right? Was it wrong? Hey, who cares? It's about me. It's my personal experience and how those experiences made me feel.
So I took the painting, I took the photo.
You got the photograph.
I put it on my website.
You put it on the website.
Mine.
It's a nice view. You see it, like it, copy it, and use it on your own website without asking my permission. So you see this photograph, it's on the web somewhere else, you right-click it, you save it, you download it, and then you put it on your website. This is someone else's photo, but it's great. It looks good. I'm going to put it on my website. No problem, right? Wrong. You're breaking the law.
Absolutely, yeah. It doesn't mean you have to steal it from like a famous artist or something like that, even if it's some unknown person like me with a camera. If it's my photograph and you use it, it's still breaking the law.
You are breaking copyright law.
And it's not just photographs. It says this is also the case if you download music or video files from the internet without paying for their use, or if you create a video using unlicensed music clips.
There you go. Now we also have two vocabulary words to talk about in this sentence. The first of which is the noun file. I remember long ago when we had actual files. They kind of looked like folders made of hard paper, and you could put paper in those things to keep them safe and to organize said papers. Nowadays, though, for the most part, a file is just a computer document, okay? For example, I forgot to save the file and lost hours of work.
But yeah, that's basically the way that computers sort and remember information, through files, right? Words will be doc, a photograph would be a JPEG, music might be MP4 or something like that. All these different files, the computer uses different programs, and one of them would be maybe an MPEG or something like that, right? That would be a short bit of video, not just a photograph, but a little bit of film, and that's basically what a clip is. It's a short bit of film. When you see someone talking about a new movie and they're just showing you a few exciting scenes, that would be a clip of the film, not the full thing, just a little bit of it. For example, the TV news showed a short clip of the activity. It was Dragon Boat Racing Day, and they showed, a minute of dragon boat activities, not the full day.
And they might have added a clip of music to that video clip and composed them together and make something nice. Maybe they'll post it on YouTube. All right, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a short break, but don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们在第一天的课文学到，如果没有事先取得许可就使用他人的作品，那就违反了著作权。那就算是不小心，可能还是要负法律责任。课文就举了一个例子，假设我拍了一张很棒的风景照，我把它放在我的个人网站上。那如果你没有经过我的允许就把照片拿去使用，你就违反了著作权法哦。好，那么再看两个单字 ，photograph。它可以当动词来指拍照，或是当名词来指照片，在字尾加上 er 变成 photographer， 那就是摄影师咯。下一个单字 personal 是指私人的、个人的。Personal belongings 就可以指私人物品、个人随身物品。那么其中的 belongings 我们来拼一下 belongings， 它表示随身物品、所有物。我们通常都是用复数型表达。好，那么课文接着提到。 如果你是从网络上下载音乐或是影片档，然后没有付费使用，或者是使用了未经授权的音乐片段来创作，这个情况也是一样的哦。好，这边有2个单字 ，file 是指档案、文件夹。那么老师有提到 folder，F-O-L-D-E-R。folder 可以用来指电脑里面存放档案的那个资料夹、档案夹。好，再来下一个单字 clip。clip 它是指影片或是节目的片段，整段的影片是 video， 那么片段就是 clip。好，接着回到课文中。
Know your copyrights.
Copyright doesn't last forever, though. In most countries, it lasts for the life of the creator, plus another 70 years. After that, the work is considered in the public domain, which means anyone has the right to use it as they please.
Copyright. Once you create something, you own that thing. You can copy that thing at will, and you can prosecute people who steal from you and copy it without your permission. It's great, and it lasts forever. Not quite. Copyright is great, but copyright doesn't last forever, though.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Even if you invent something, like the companies that make medicine, they can use it and sell it for a few years, but eventually the rest of the world is allowed to use it for free. But some time has to pass, often quite a lot of time. So copyright doesn't last forever. It says in most countries, it lasts for the life of the creator. So if you create something, as long as you're alive, you will have the copyright, plus another 70 years. So kind of like their children could also use that thing and use the rights and get the money from it for their lifetime too. So, 100 years or so might pass before it becomes free. And we have a special term for that when it becomes free.
Yeah, after that, the work is considered in the public domain, which means anyone has the right to use it as they please. Like the Bible, it's in the public domain.
Or Shakespeare.
Shakespeare, it's in the public domain. Mozart, if you wanted to go ahead and download Mozart and play that in Salzburg, go for it. Nobody is going to stop you. Just don't say that the music that Mozart that he wrote, that you wrote it, that would be still plagiarism. But yes,
and Star Wars.
If you're a creator, yes, you are going to own that copyright forever, so to speak, as long as you live. But hey, you'll get another 70 years tacked onto that as well, which seems pretty reasonable to me. The creator,
not Star Wars.
The creator, not yet. No. Not yet. Okay. The creator will kind of own that for their entire lives, forever, so to speak, but not forever, forever. Anyways, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a short break, but don't go away. When we come back, we'll be talking some more about Star Wars.
Harry Potter?
好，当你创作出一个作品，你可以任意的使用它，而别人没有经过你同意擅自使用的话，就会侵犯到你的著作权，这时候你就可以告他了。Charles 老师刚刚用到 prosecute 这个动词 ，prosecute，prosecute 就表示起诉或是控告。好，那话说回来，著作权并不会永远存在。在大多数的国家里面，著作权持续的时间是创作者过世之后，然后再加70年。在那之后呢，作品就会属于公有领域，任何人都会有权利随意的使用。好，文中用到 domain 这个字就表示领域范围，那么 public domain 就表示公众领域，也就是一般来指说这个著作权它已经失效过期而不受保护了，或者是呢这个创作者他自愿贡献出作品让所有的人使用。接话课文中
Know your copyrights.
If you want to use a piece of work but aren't sure if it's under copyright or not, look for the copyright symbol or the phrase, all rights reserved. If you see these, you need the creator's permission to use their work. In cases where things aren't so clear, however, it's always better to be safe than sorry. When in doubt, ask the creator.
All right, copyright law. You don't want to break it. You don't want to infringe on anyone's copyright. So how do we know who owns something. If we want to know who owns something and how we can use that, what do? Well, you got to look for that circle C thing. It's a circle, and on the inside there you've got a C. That means copyright. So if you want to use a piece of work but aren't sure if it's under copyright or not, look for that circle C, the copyright symbol, or the phrase all rights reserved. All rights reserved, i.e. we're going to come after you.
Basically, that's right. We have the rights and we're keeping them, and if you want them, you got to pay. You'll often see that at the end of films or TV shows, right after the name of the studio and the year it was made. So
in Roman numerals.
In Roman numerals, possibly. So right at the bottom of something, at the back or the front page of a book or a piece of writing, maybe at the bottom of an article on the internet. So look for these phrases, look for these symbols. And we have this phrase.
We have the phrase, all rights reserved.
Yes.
Now, notice that that's not a full sentence, but the words kind of fit together and make sense together. Yeah, a phrase is usually a group of words that fit together and make some sense. Usually you've got, let's say, a book, a chapter, then a paragraph, and then you've got sentences, and the sentences can be broken into smaller parts called clauses, and then also phrases fit in there too. It's basically a very small unit of speech, of words that fit together. For example, Michael circled all of the key phrases in the article, like all rights reserved. That's important. If I use this person's work, they're going to come after me.
Absolutely, and I'll have to get a lawyer, and that's not a phrase I want to use. Now, if you see these, the sign, the circle C sign, or the all rights reserved sign, if you see these, you need the creator's permission to use their work.
Or they're going to come after you.
That's right.
With
so
lawyers.
At least you have to write to them and say, can I use this? And who knows, maybe they're in a good mood. They're like, yeah, go ahead, do it for free. But you probably will have to pay some money. And the more well-known the thing is, the more money you'll probably have to pay. In cases where things aren't so clear, however, it's always better to be safe than sorry. If you don't know, don't steal it.
So when in doubt, ask the creator, or you can get into trouble. I believe that years ago there was a very famous campaign poster in the United States for Barack Obama. It was everywhere. Everybody loved it, except that it was a stolen image. The artist Shepard Fairey, I believe his name was, stole that image and then used it as a part of the campaign. He got into some very big trouble for that.
Very interesting, because they didn't get the rights to use it. They didn't get the permission of the creator. So that's a really good bit of advice. If you don't know, ask the creator, ask the person who made it. If you don't know, that means you have doubt. Doubt, this noun, just means you're not sure, all right? If you're confident in something, if you know it 100%, you have no doubt. But if there are even some small questions in your mind about, I'm not sure about this, there are some facts here that I feel like I am missing, then you have some doubt. You can be full of doubt and go, I have no idea. Or you can have some small amount of doubt and go, I think I'm right, but I'm not totally sure. But that idea of not being totally sure, that is doubt. For example, the result of this experiment is still in doubt. We're going to do more experiments. Yeah. We're not totally sure about this.
We want to know for sure, and right now, we don't.
Yeah.
Anyways, folks, with that, our article is now complete, but we still have the what do you think question to ask and then answer. Hey, Mike, have you ever broken copyright law? If not, what should you do to make sure you never do?
Well, I may have broken copyright law when I put a cool photograph or a song I like on my Facebook page. I'm not sure that's really breaking it, because I'm not making any money doing it.
I saw that photo, Mike. That was taken by a photographer named Walker Evans. You don't own that. The estate of Walker Evans owns that. You're in very,
what photograph
very
are you
big
talking about?
Trouble. Very big trouble.
What are you talking?
You might end up in jail.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I gotta get a lawyer.
All right, folks. With that, our lesson is now in the books, and it's time for us to say bye-bye.
See you later.
课文最后写到，如果你想要使用一件作品，但不确定是否有著作权，你就去找那个圈圈 C 的那个符号，或者是版权所有的这个用语。那你看到这些符号用语，就表示说你需要创作者的许可才可以使用他们的作品哦。那如果是在不太确定的情况下，有备无患总是比较好的。你有疑问就直接询问创作者吧。好，这边来看2个单字 ，phrase。平常我们讲这个字是片语的意思，那它也可以用来指短语或是词组。好 ，Jeff 老师用到 clause 这个字，则是指子句。我们在文法里面常会说什么名词子句、什么子句啊？那这个 clause C-L-A-U-S-E 就是子句。好，下一个单字 doubt。doubt 在这边当名词表示怀疑、疑虑 ，in doubt 就表示不确定、有疑虑。好，那么刚刚老师们聊到说，电影或是电视节目在标示版权著作权的时候，他们常会用到罗马数字。老师说的 Roman numeral 就是指罗马数字，其中的 numeral 是拼作 N-U-M-E-R-A-L。那么最后来看3个重点，第一个。if 在文中有出现2种用法，第一种用法是用 if 引导条件句，那它的句型是 if 主词加动词，逗号，主词加上 will、can 或是 may 等等，再加原形动词。好，那你也可以用 if 主词加动词，逗号，加上祈使句。我们来造2个例句。If you finish your homework, you can go to the park. 如果你写完功课，你就可以去公园玩。好 ，If you can't beat them, join them. 如果打不过对方，就加入对方吧。这什么意思呢？这就像中文说的“无力胜之，则从之”。好，第2个用法是它用 if 主词加动词 or not 来当名词子句去表达是否怎么样怎么样。那这样的名词子句它可以当受词或是补语用。好，例如。I don't care if he believes me or not. 我并不在意他是否相信我。那这边的 if he believes me or not 就是当受词用。第2个重点，片语动词 look for 是指寻找。例如 Ryan is looking for his car keys. Ryan 正在找他的车钥匙。好，第3个重点。It's better to be safe than sorry， 也可以说 better safe than sorry。字面上的意思是安全防范比事后遗憾还来得好，那么就是用来表达谨慎比遗憾好，就像我们中文说的有备无患，未雨绸缪，跟他们意思蛮相近的。例如 It's better to be safe than sorry when it comes to protecting your personal data。 说到保护个资啊，小心总比后悔好。好，那么以上这些讲解，同学们别走开，马上回来哦。
Hello， 各位同学，大家好，我是季安老师。今天带大家看简短对话的作答流程、应考技巧。来，第2个呢，就是我们第1个有讲到，就是说一定要先看一下问题和选项，对不对？再来呢，你要能够看完之后就知道说，有些东西是可以立即回答的题目哦，立即回答。我们听录音的时候要把注意力放在这3个问题的问题点 ，OK， 知道他要问什么嘛？那辨识之后呢，要立刻作答。通常答案选项都很短，最好立即作答，然后呢，以免听完完整的对话之后就忘掉答案。一般而言，就是这2类哦。第1个数字型，这是可以马上作答的类型哈，问数字 ，OK， 问时间啊 ，date 长度啊。那还有文字型的，也就是说，谁啊、地点、物件等等啊。那我们来直接做一个小小的练习哈，来。
Who is Bill meeting this afternoon?
所以问题是什么？ Who is coming from Texas? OK， 谁从德州来？那我们听一下。
Who is Bill meeting this afternoon?
Tina Woods, from our headquarters in Texas. She is coming with her new assistant, Laura Cole.
那听到这边应该就可以听出来答案是 B， 对不对？
Bill will first take them on a tour of the office. Then they will discuss our budget and work on a new proposal.
I see. If Bill is going to be busy today, maybe I should ask Becky for help with the annual report.
Question. Who is coming from Texas?
Who is coming from Texas？ 答案是 B。那你就会发现说，在对话的很前面，他就已经把这个答案讲出来，对不对 ？Who is Bill meeting this afternoon? Tina Woods from our headquarters in Texas. 所以 Tina 是从 Texas 来的。She is coming with her new assistant, Lara Cole. 所以呢 ，Tina 跟 Lara 这2个。Alright， 所以呢，答案是 B 哦。好，那我们这边要注意的就是说，实际上 上考场在作答的时候呢，一边听一边做，对不对？但是我们这边听到 B 的时候呢，很多人可能想要开始这样涂，要把它涂满画黑，这边涂 ，OK。但是你要记得哦，你在涂的时候，其实也会分掉你一点注意力的 ，OK。你没有办法一心二用嘛，哦，就涂，结果呢，就在你涂的时候，你就漏听了，这样就超可惜的啊。那怎么办？在听的时候呢，你听到这一题是 B 了，但是接下来还有第2题跟第3题嘛，那怎么办？你在听到是 B 的时候，你觉得这个是 B， 你就先这样就好了，先稍微画一些就好了。有些人呢会打勾。有些人呢会稍微这样点一下就好了 ，OK。那3个题目就是点 ，OK。点完之后，等到它全部念完了，那确定了，全部就涂满画黑，把它涂一涂啊。那这边要特别注意，就是说我们在涂的时候呢，稍微突出去一点是没有关系的，重点是要把那个圈圈把它涂满哦。那突出去一点点没有关系哦，不用这边擦半天哦。OK， 所以这样就可以知道说答案是哪一个了啊。所以这一题是 B， 那我们就把 B 把它给弄好啊，就是把它圈满、涂满、画黑，这样就可以了。那特别注意就是说，你突出去一点点没关系，但是不要去弄到其他的选项。OK， 好，那我们再来继续往下看哦。第3个重点哦，就是你要快速复查、检视所有的选项，这个比较高端一点的，因为呢，很多时候我们能够挑出来就已经要偷笑了，但是我们挑出来的时候，还是可以去确认一下其他几个选项是错的，所以呢，最好还是要快速浏览过其他的选项之后，你就知道说，这个是对的，其他都是错的哦。所以碍阅读的速度关系没有办法 double check， 那就没办法。我刚刚有说过，这个比较高端一点啊。不过建议考生呢，平常做练习的时候要培养检视所有选项的好习惯。检视所有选项就是让你去确认你那个是对的。我自己觉得这个是对的，其他都错，那就2个都可以双方验证嘛。再来最后一个最重要的，预览下一道题组。我们刚刚说一开始在做 board direction 的时候，不要去理会它，把第1道题组的3个题目选项全部都把它看过。OK， 那录音就开始播了，讲完之后，照理说这3题就已经画黑涂满 OK 了。那接下来他会念第1题第2题、第3题。他在念的时候呢，每一题都还会有7到8秒的间隔 ，OK， 所以这20几秒的时间，你是拿来看下3个题目 ，OK， 下3个题目把它看一看，那这样的话，你就会对于下一个题组心里有个谱啊。那时间够的话呢，你就可以再多看一些了啊 ，OK， 所以呢，这边讲的就是这样，你要用每一个题组的7到8秒时间浏览下一个题组。这样的话，在新题组呢播放的时候就不会茫茫然不知所措了。OK， 好，那我这边要特别注意一下，就是说，如果呢你是做得到的 ，OK， 或者是中高阶一点的，你在听前一个就是这个简短问答的时候呢，中间还是会有空隙的，有一些时间你就可以看一下下一个题组，也就是说在 Part 2的时候，你可以看一下 Part 3，因为呢它的试题是在同一页面上的，所以你就可以先找空档看一下这个简短对话的问题题组，这个也是会有帮助的。Alright， 好，那我们接下来之后就是要带大家来做非常多的实战的练习了。以上是我们今天的课程内容，我是季安老师，我们下堂课见，拜拜。
See you next time.